if-then clauses in the present tense in German. So in the present tense, we can say things that are if-then. So if I had time, I would be happy. Wenn ich Zeit hätte, wäre ich froh. We need to remember a few things in German. First and foremost, we want to watch out and remember that when we have a subordinating conjunction, the conjugated verb goes to the end. So that's why wenn ich Zeit hätte. And then because all of this takes the first position in German, we have to have our inverted word order, which otherwise you would say like ich wäre froh, which we see here in English, I would be happy. So this inverts the word order, so the verb is second. So, wenn ich Zeit hätte, wäre ich froh. So hätte is a form of have, so haben, hatte, the subjunctive hätte. Wäre comes from sein, to be, past tense war, was, so wäre, I would be. So we're going to notice lots of umlauts here with that. So, wenn ich Zeit hätte, wäre ich froh. If I had time, I would be happy. So the things that you need for an if-then sentence in German in the present tense is you need the if, which is wenn. You need the then, which is dann. Sometimes it's assumed, or it's like it's there, it's sort of imaginary. For haben, the subjunctive form is the hätte. So would have. Wäre is the subjunctive of sein, would be. And then if you have any other infinitive, like if I were tired or something like that, if I were tired, like that doesn't make sense, sorry. If I were sleeping, so then you would use würde, which is from werden, and then you would use sleep, schlafen. So you can also use a wurde infinitive. And then, of course, as always, we need to watch our word order, just as we did previously. So, wenn wir reich wären, if we would be rich, once again, we've got to make sure we conjugate our verb for our subject. Wenn wir reich wären, dann hätten wir mehr. So there's our word order. We have to watch out. We want to make sure, because we're using a subordinating conjunction, that our verb is at the end in this clause. And then in our second clause, because the first clause takes the first position, we have to invert our word order and put our verb so it's in the second position overall. So instead of saying wir hätten mehr, we would say hätten wir mehr. So, wenn wir reich wären, there's our sein, dann hätten wir mehr. Dann hätten wir mehr. If we were rich, we would have more, or if we were rich, then we would have more. So, there's the dann, kind of optional, if you will. So, how do we conjugate haben in the subjunctive for would have? So, ich hätte, du hättest, sie es hätte, wir hätten, ihr hättet, sie hätten. So it's very much like the past tense of the narrative. So ich hatte becomes ich hätte. So we have lots of umlauts over our vowels. For the subjunctive for sein, the war gets kind of a little changed up. So instead of saying ich war, I was, it is the following. Ich wäre, du wärest, sie es wäre, wir wären, ihr wäret, sie wären. Then anything else, so like sleeping, reading, playing, running, any other infinitive, any other verb, you have to use the würden, which comes from werden, present tense, to wurde, past tense, and now we kind of change that up again by adding a umlaut. So ich würde, du würdest, sie es würde, wir würden, ihr würdet, sie würden. Zum Beispiel, wenn ich müde wäre, dann würde ich mehr schlafen. So there's kind of that sleeping example. If I were tired, I would sleep more. So the würde, much like our modals or our helping verbs, is conjugated and placed there, and then we put the infinitive at the end of the sentence. So look at all those verbs. Watch in our word order. Wenn nicht in der Schule wäre, würde täglich arbeiten. So another würde infinitive construction. If he weren't in school, if he were not in school, he would work daily. Übung macht den Meister. So go ahead and try these 3 sentences. Think about the verbs. Pause this video to try those sentences. Hit resume when you are ready to continue. Wenn du eine nette Person wärst, dann würdest du uns helfen. Dann würdest du uns helfen. Wenn du mehr Zeit hättest, dann würdest du deine Oma besuchen. Watch the word order. And then as a quick check for notes, put a star next to this one. Wenn ich einen Job hätte, würde ich jeden Tag arbeiten. So as a quick check, put a star next to this one. And that's a little bit of the if-then construction of sentences in the present tense. Danke.